what can you tell us? Give us a briefing ahead of, give us a sense of what we are to expect from this briefing that the Dunkwa Institute is organizing.
So here at the Dunkwa Institute, the executive director, Richard Ahiagba, just descended, and I've picked up information that within just about 5 minutes, he's going to address the media. Now, my source tells me that there were some allegations made by the minority, particularly Isaac Adongo, on the banking sector, and then they linked it to Dunkwa Institute. So this afternoon, the executive director of Dunkwa Institute, Richard Ahiagba, will be addressing the media to, in his words, set the record straight and also let Ghanaians appreciate why government decided to do the banking cleanup exercise within the banking sector and some issues all within the sector. So these are the information I've picked up so far.
Now, earlier, away from this, we'll come back to this briefing that the Dunkwa Institute will be doing. But earlier, you had a briefing where the opposition NDC is demanding the release of its parliamentary candidate for Lejokuku constituency, Bernard Ayuku. We understand he was picked up last night. What more can you tell us?
So the party is alleging that last night about 4 armed military men invaded or stormed the private office of the parliamentary candidate for Lejokuku constituency, that is Bernard Ayuku. Now they picked up the constituency chairman, the constituency organizer, and the parliamentary candidate on the suspicion that they were registering voters at the office of the parliamentary candidate. Now, the party again says that when they got to when the military men actually arrived at the office of the parliamentary candidate, in fact, was actually having a meeting with some priests, and that they were not registering any voter or voters there at the moment, and so they don't understand why the military men will pick them up. They have checked with the sources within the Ghana Police Service and the military high command, and their investigation shows that none of these individuals, the high command or the authorities at the Ghana Police Service, authorized the operations. And so for them, they are wondering why the 4 armed military men will storm the offices of the parliamentary candidate and arrest him. In fact, they linked the arrest or the intimidation to that of the member of parliament for the area, Bernardo Koboy, Dr. Koboy, and that allegation that since the exercise began, that is the voter registration exercise, he's deployed men to intimidate and harass NDC members within the area. So as we speak, the parliamentary candidates, the constituency chairman and the national organizer are all locked up at the Accra Central where they are currently. They indicated to me that the lawyers are working to secure bail for them, but they are asking for their release now. They say that should the police fail to release their candidates and of course the executives, they will storm there, and definitely the media will know what they will do. So these were some of the allegations they made against the MP for the area and the Ghana Police Service as well, Arba.
And that's my colleague Kwesi Parker Wilson there. We'll go back to that venue where the Dunkwa Institute is scheduled to brief the media on some allegations that have come up. But away from this, the newly elected chairman of the Progressive People's Party, Nana Ofori-Owusu, is accusing government of using the laws of the country to protect oppressors. According to him, the system is only good at exploiting the citizenry while entrenching poverty and underdevelopment. Speaking at the party's delegates conference in Accra over the weekend, the PPP chairman charged Ghanaians to vote against oppressors' rule.
There can be no change without struggle. There can be no change without the willingness to lay down your very own lives. I tell you, we want leadership who will not go after political opponents with state machinery to cripple them because they don't like their nose, their face, or their mustaches. We will be emancipated. The change starts today with you. We associate ourselves with the freedom fighters around the world. African lives matter. Yeah. Black lives matter. Ghanaian lives matter. We are with you, Bobby Wine, in the struggle of the Ugandan people. Yeah. We are with you. The Progressive People's Party is the alternative party to Yano, who have had the opportunity to rule in this Fourth Republic. And they've done nothing. It is our time and our turn to take power, to take power for the development of our people. I stand here and I'm going to leave you. You see, we have leaders who have black masks but white skin. They have black masks. They look like you and me. But they have white skin because they have the European colonialist mentality. They keep their bank accounts in different countries. Why would a citizen of Ghanaians living here, you want to keep most of your money in somebody's bank outside of Ghana to develop their country? White skin. The white skin is not a physical white skin. It is a mindset that subjugates, that keeps the people down, that is not interested in doing real development, because he must keep you dumb, deaf, and blind. He must keep you poor in order to have control over you. So the fight of today, is not yesterday's fight of colonialism or the white man. The fight of today is the African who continues to think like the colonial master, and he was not interested in changing the political form. He was merely interested in occupying the position to amass for himself that which belongs to you and I. Black mask, white skin. They are not with you. They are not for you. And the Progressive People's Party, we have black masks, black skin. Because we believe that we can do for self. And we will use the state power to encourage local Ghanaian businesses and not destroy Ghanaian businesses to the advantage of foreign businesses.
Now let's turn our attention to some disturbing developments because the Electoral Commission officials Monday fled the Step to Christ registration center in the Ewutu-Senya East constituency after gun-wielding men stormed the premises. Eyewitnesses say the men, numbering about 15, arrived at the center at about 8 a.m. and tried to sack some prospective voters. This resulted in a scuffle. Gunshots were fired and 3 motorbikes were burnt. Joseph Akable is on the ground there. He joins me on the phone with more of what he has gathered. So, Joseph, why did the gunmen want some people out of the registration center?
In fact, the information we've picked from the eyewitnesses, they say that as far as the gunmen were concerned, these are individuals who had come in to interfere with the process and were also not qualified to vote. And so they wanted them to move away from the registration center. And so they came in here and started sacking them from the place. And so, according to the eyewitnesses, their refusal to leave led to the firing of the gunshots, which resulted in some motorbikes that were seized in the process were burnt. In fact, there is a shop some few meters away from the polling station where it has been riddled by the gunshots, about 3 holes in that particular store there. And so the residents are scared. The EC officials had to run away from this particular center. The registration exercise has been suspended indefinitely.
And Joseph, you talked about a shop that was riddled with gun, shots, gun holes in the shop. You've been speaking to the owner of the shop. What have they been telling you?
She says she was just inside when she just heard people shouting outside, and when she ran outside, she could see people running after a number of people, and so all she had to do was to gather the children and go into the house where they heard the gunshots. A number of them, they couldn't even count. Some were being fired up in the sky, others were hitting their shop, and so they were hiding inside until they heard that calm had been restored. That was when they came outside to check what had happened.
All right, Joseph Akable, with that update from the Step to Christ registration center in the Ewutu-Senya East constituency where that confusion broke out. Stay tuned to this station. We'll be bringing you updates in our subsequent bulletins. But now let's cross over to the Dunkwa Institute for that briefing on the banking sector.
Yeah, no na 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 go for e se na abu no pasa asemi aba mpema na won sika da ho ade tuefo kutri wo yie so won sika prabia abu amanfo bi sa se ade na sie aya sisa boni a wo man pedi na na go for ne ni wo for sika go for riata ade doctor and as Alison akabo mu se obubeni sabone no na obuti ye aba nie etse wo na wo nya se abra na ni bank ebe go fi premier no ade tu wo na aban no ade ni bank ka opepepe ba ko anso aban no kwapa ewu no eno phobia na ade ni bank ka ade kokobo rafa asia wo hwe sika se consensual the Ministry of Finance get fund get sika prabia the Bank of Ghana bank oil distribution companies any aban contractors ahodo concerned government entities. Send you to a now we're mindful to some for California and inside. Send you to a really bad now so when she are about Papaye or Kurima. And inside, send here or Penny and now go and California what they say. Then she are really bad no, woman and the side, not in your community for at the end. Yeah, opposition party NDC. Second for the 2016, glad to be yeah, any people among the world and Travel near from the Dunkwa Institute. Yeah, there as a button now, woman, but in another go for office. And I can't tell you a piano thing. Now, I see I was see the other side. Sikatoria Homo, yeah, opposition for you. Woman, you know, send your mayor when you see come from our mind. Saka Tada Piano, who want to talk about for you, really man. I don't talk about the senior GN man. Therefore, it is a neck, that's sorry, not a really man, and the GN man, everyone, not just Susia, and the people are mine, and the Dunkwa Institute, and the country, and son, no matter what the customers, I tell mafias, no 2 years. Bosia, Unibank, Animal Cocoa, Bank of Ghana, Government of Ghana, contractors, and all the company now, are buying a company, say, Bosia money. That's the only Sicabria Canada. Now, let's say, we said that cow, I can't just Sicabria say, well, this is God, you are into one, not a yet to what they are, not a yard. So, my Bank of Ghana, what do you bank can't actually come home and that's any bank say, when you see to Sicabria, the good, but Bank of Ghana, like I said, every bank can't, no one cheer, not get for, but tomorrow, where you name your man, the land don't go for, I don't know for a second for Riata, I don't doctor and as Alison, and come on, so what to get one time, and you just say, no one sick and go, now what Jessica, and seven depositors, and yet you might fall, and what will come, yeah, and what you will do, unfortunately, and I never double that now, and the way you you can make a change.
Thank you very much. You've seen the video, but this is what we have to say about that video. We wish to state unequivocally that the claims contained in the video you just watched are false, a complete fabrication and distortion of the fact. Though we do not know the source or the people behind the video, its content is consistent with the opposition NDC's propaganda narrative. And so we'll respond to it as such. The banking sector problems, what this government inherited, and what measure it has put in place to restore sanity are no secret to anyone. A total of 9 universal banks, 23 specialized deposit-taking institutions, 386 microfinance and credit institutions were barely hanging on in 2017 when the government assumed office. Ghana at the time risked total collapse if nothing was done decidedly different from the NDC John Mahama approach to resolve the challenge. Caught in the balance, however, is the deposit customers with the banks, about 4.6 million depositors, thousands of retail, corporate, and institutional investors, were caught in the balance. Their monies have been stashed with these banks, and government and Ghana needed to do something about it. We needed, at the time, a bold and decisive leadership that was willing to prioritize the interest of depositors, investors, and the economy above all other considerations. Ladies and gentlemen, unless you are a mischiefpreneur, you know that a willful collapse of banks or financial institutions, as claimed in the video you just saw, is not the disposition of a center-right policy institute like the Dunkwa Institute, or this government, whose policy bias is the growth and wellness of private enterprise, property and property rights, economic freedom, and the rule of law, among others. I want to restate that for emphasis. If you know what the Dunkwa Institute stands for as a center-right political policy think tank, and this government with whom we share that ideological position, you will understand that it is not our disposition whatsoever to be the ones who collapse, to be the ones who undermine the market, to be the ones who at any given time will expend effort to undo the growth and the progress of the free market. So if you hear that, you understand that it is not from us, and it's actually a contrived propaganda to discredit the government and the good name of this institute. The problem in the banking sector we know, and what the government has been doing about it. The government chose arguably the most challenging approach, but one that is realistic and consistent with its compassionate liberal conservative values to protect the interest of depositors, employees, and the economy. Its approach has saved the solvent but struggling banks through the Ghana Amalgamated Trust and a cleanup of the insolvent banks to promote long-term growth and confidence in the sector. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a decision between comprehensive cleanup or the failed liquidity support approach of the John Mahama administration. You will recall, in 2015 and 2016, the IMF supported the Bank of Ghana to undertake an asset quality review. That is the document that is available. If any of you need a copy, we can make copies for you. The exercise by the Bank of Ghana revealed severe challenges with solvency, asset quality, and liquidity. In fact, some of the banks were significantly under-provisioned and suffered capital shortfalls. To respond to the asset review report, the John Mahama administration offered to use liquidity support without a plan. I want to emphasize that again. The government at the time, under His Excellency, the former President John Dramani Mahama, instead of comprehensively addressing the problem, elected only to throw taxpayers' money at the problem without a plan to address the underlying regulatory deficits and corporate governance malpractices that was at the heart of the problem. As it turned out, much of the liquidity support given to its friends were diverted to fund unrelated investments. Poor corporate governance practices ruled the day, paving the way for unrelated interest deals to the detriment of employees, depositors, and investors. Owners and directors of financial institutions appear to be in lockstep with regulators, which may have caused them to look away as depositors' funds are funneled into personal investments. These owners and directors were emboldened and threw all caution to the wind. And I'll give you a couple of examples. For instance, under the NDC Mahama government, shareholders and directors of banks, and in this case a particular bank, but I suppose I won't mention certain names here because some of these cases are still in court, but shareholders and directors of a bank advance personal loans to themselves contrary to Section 70, Paragraph 4 of Act 930. Again, 4 owners and directors of a bank, one of the banks collapsed, owed the bank they started, owed their own bank a sum of 494.6 million Ghana cedis. Further, the receiver of the insolvent financial institutions, Mr. Eric Nananipa, on Friday, just this Friday, July 17th, revealed that some of the owners of the defunct financial institutions bought homes outside Ghana with depositors' money. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to get context here, and as you continue to mull over the video you watched, these are depositors' monies, their life savings and investments that are being diced up by owners of banks and financial institutions, shared among themselves to acquire foreign property. Recall in the video, again, that we just watched, the narrator talks about people's boja money. And I think that we understand what it means, that people struggled, come up with some money and put with banks. It is now clear from this example I've just given you that actually it was the owners of the banks and directors who were using depositors' money to buy homes and not this government. But I will indulge you, or probably you indulge me, and help me think through this example that I have for us. If depositors save their monies with a financial institution, let's give it a name, AB, and the owners and directors of Bank AB siphon the savings put to it by the depositors to buy homes abroad, to divert that money into personal enterprises, or make personal loans to themselves against the banking laws of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think will happen to Bank AB? This is exactly what happened in the case of the collapsed banks. The owners and the directors siphoned the monies that were supposed to have been for depositors to manage and perhaps in most cases yield dividend for them. They siphoned those for personal use, and that was the reason those banks were destined for collapse. Unlike the NDC Mahama administration, this administration took a comprehensive view of the problem it inherited, primarily with a view to save depositors' funds, jobs, and to build an enduring financial services sector. It was either this bold and decisive way or no way, because the alternative has been tried, which is the liquidity support the NDC and the Mahama tried. It has been tried, and it failed, and should never be an option. Thankfully, ladies and gentlemen, the results of the cleanup exercise are beginning to show. Liquidity and capital adequacy, which in 2017 were 25% and 14.6% respectively, have improved as of May 2020 to 39% and 21% respectively. Good governance and prudence, good corporate governance and prudence have led to a drastic reduction in non-performing loans from 21% to 14.3%. And in cedi terms, that equals 1.46 billion Ghana cedis. I submit to you, this is how you build the banking sector, not how you collapse it. While this government is working to fix the problems in the financial sector, I think it is disingenuous for those who created the problem to hide behind cameras, to mischaracterize the labor that the government is putting in to fix the problem it inherited. But since the Dunkwa Institute has been mentioned in the video we just watched, I'd like to take a minute to illustrate and possibly address some of the concerns directly that were raised in the video. The collapse, for example, of UT and Capital Bank and the rest that were consolidated resulted vastly from mismanagement and diversion of depositors' funds by owners and directors for their personal benefit. Their loss position altogether equaled 11.65 billion Ghana cedis. This was how much government has had to provide for these banks, even in collapse, to keep them up. And this 11.65 billion is the sum total of depositors' funds that have been diverted from the banks and was not available when needed to keep the banks solvent and save them from collapse. So, the claim that government owed Unibank, that is why it collapsed, is entirely false and without merit. But let's assume, for example, that indeed government owed Unibank 1 billion cedis, as it claimed in the video. That 1 billion cedis will not have been enough to save Unibank, because the gap in its balance sheet was far more significant than 1 billion Ghana cedis. The NDC knew about the impending collapse and vulnerabilities of the banks, of the Ghanaian banks, including Unibank, from the updated Asset Quality Review report. They have access to this, and every so often you hear them reference to that before they left office, there was this report done before they left. And so the question is, why then are they not speaking to the fact? It is against this background, ladies and gentlemen, that the IMF worked with the NDC to pass the Banks and Specialized Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 2016, that is Act 930. Realizing the problem in that 2016 report, the IMF encouraged and worked with the NDC to pass a law that will address the problem, the obvious and impending collapse of the banking sector. But the NDC failed to faithfully attend to that crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the facts. These are the facts of the matter. And I'd like to submit to you, again, that the video we just watched and is circulating on social media, which claims the Dunkwa Institute has conspired with the government to collapse Unibank and others, is nothing but a callous plot to besmirch the reputation of the Institute and to mischaracterize government's honest effort to see through a painful but necessary cleanup exercise. But I should warn you, you must expect more of these videos given the times that we're in. This is just perhaps the beginning of worse things to come. Expect more of these fabricated videos to be circulated as part of a grand strategy to poison the atmosphere, create enmity, and distort the issues. Our preference is for political actors to focus on the issues and discuss their vision, but that is not to be, as we have seen begun here. It is our hope that you will, ladies and gentlemen in the media, you will at all times set the record straight anytime you come across these fabrications about the Dunkwa Institute or about the government of Ghana, and not fall for it, because it is designed not to advance the common interest of rebuilding and regaining control of our economy and creating the opportunities that we must create for the youth, and focus on building infrastructure and advancing the aspiration of our people. It is not to advance it, but it is to regress and have us all locked up in a dysfunctional discussion about somebody's personal or some group of people's personal interests and their aspirations to run for office. I thank you very much for coming. And if there's no question, we'll switch right away to do the tree version. Unless there's a question, we'll take that before we do the tree version. But if not, we'll just go ahead and then do the tree version. Okay, so very briefly, you have a thing for me or no? What are you going to put for the, okay. Nkomana na ye die ne say enche bia na krate bia na say video e bi ba ya na ye chiche ewo social media say Dunkwa Institute ne aban esipo say ye pese egu banks wo Ghana ha sa video yi ye nim one akofa bae but nsem wo mu no kire say ebeye NDC fo and akofa sa video yi ya share esumase edenam essay Dunkwa Institute din and aban and impeniphobia on a Dunkwa Institute aye adwuma pen na no kure wo mu ne say the banking sector no na anda ye papa John Dramani Mahama and na banks na wo Ghana ha no and na mo kwan ya fa so ye adwuma Bank of Ghana say ohwe omoso no mutu ye no kuredie kwan so ne nhyehyɛ o ma yato o kwan so no o ma anya ne nti no na bank adwuma no na egu 2016 IMF ene aban we tran ase ka kyerɛ mo say banks a ɛwɔ mo kuro mu ha no egu enti no ye bɔ mo ma ye nhyehyɛ sɛ bɛ ya mo betumi asesa na ase mo siesie saa tibia no ɛna mo ye saa nkrata no and your friend Mremu at 9:30. I share bank adwuma no so. Se be ya nyoma e koso a emwa a ema banks no ego no. E betumi aso ano. But then this aban entumi anye saa adwuma yi. E na 2016 nyame ncha de omulusu yi. Ti omulusu ye no aban bae na sema ne ye kan say MPP aban and a Dunkwa Institute. Adeba kwa da ye ntamu eye nsusuye a ye nim say ye de ye oman wedru a be boa no ye friend center right and as a liberal conservative ideology no. Eno ene ye mienu institute we ene aban ye de ye adwuma. Enti say yonkofo bi da ye ntamu a ye saa ntiase we ene ya yonkofo da yen ene aban ntam a ye MPP ekuo no. So wo hwe sa nhyehyɛ no ana sɛ sa ni suade hunu no a ɛyɛ ni suade hunu bi a egina hɔ ma business ana sɛ ankrankra die ye yo enkoso ana sɛ business be koso because ye tia sɛ de sɛ business koso a ɛbɛma adwuma ba ama nkrofo anya adwuma yɛ na nipa ye adwuma nso so a ɔboa ma ɔman ni nyini enti saa butai na Dunkwa Institute ye de ye adwuma ɛno nso so na aban ni MPP ati ase se ebeboa amagana kodede enti se wo se ye nisuade hunu nie na eno ne ye die adwuma na obi be ka kire wo se saa kuo yi a epese enwuma koso Ghana na enu ti na omo wo ho no entumi nya no kore se saa ekuo no na betena ho asipo se ye kogu enwuma because enye no na ye die adwuma ye mo be pese ekuo anase enwuma de se banks ne de aka no ebe ye adwuma se be ya mbotumi amasika ama nkrokra pese invest na ye ma adwuma ba ma mrantoa enye adwuma ye Ghana no omotumi aye ani se ye ka kire wo se Dunkwa Institute ne aban asipo se ye begu banks wo Ghana ha sisa nipa ne se ye ntro na sa aban we ene asema okay emfa but NDC for and akofa sa video yi ebe se ye de say amanfo adwene ebe se ye create na ye pe otan ama aban no na ye de say Dunkwa Institute din but no kura wo mu ne say sa banking sector nsem aye kai aban ebaaye na 2016 hyehyɛ omo ye ne mbra say NDC fo mfa nhwɛ na yensiesi banking sector crisis no omo antumi anye de omo ye ne say omo nanfofo a ɛwɔ hɔ na same way a fact numbers ni sika omo de bo banks no wokomu na wo hwɛ a omo aye omo nanfofo ebinom aye bobɔ no video no so abo hu no omo na ne ye disika ne ma omo na de aka ni nyina omo agya omo gu ho na sika o de ma nipa suban a o de run bank ne say o yi sika Ghana fo na nipa ka video no so say Ghana fo kakrawa budwa o maye e de akoto bank na bank wura no mo no e sisa say sika we de koto adan e wa brochiri suban ya omo de ti bank omo de run bank anyway na wo say de sika e ma omo a o hwa say sika no omo de kwakotua say sika yi wo hwa omo amoye media fo no mo komu amu behu sika no bebre no ya the bank of Ghana liquidity support eba no mo de ebidu mo de akwakoje shares e wo ADB sika ya say amanfo sika wo ho no gina fatua na se fa twitwa ho until say obetumi enya wo sika e bia obi de o ka na say we eba na wo de etua no wa gi sika no e de akwakoto shares e wo ADB ebidu mo de akwakoto dan te say dia me no wa hayi na odeka odi obi kana waba obi nchen ya na so waba beche so obon bi sha me fa nkotua me ka chire me de amawa busi abobọ me ho de kwa kotua ka no so wasan akwa kodi na je se wo de ka mienu nti e ba na de awodi ne ka first de ba wonye sika ntua bia na wo besa akọ third person ho se obon bi sha me fa nkotua me ka ye mawa wasan akokodi e no eno na yesu ban na no motimu banks no nti aban ba ye no na sika ese omope ede ye bank ni ye no close to about 11.6 billion na o te o kan we do this video do say pay ba ko se de ye ka 11.65 billion and ye sika omuhia na sa banks ye tumi gira na so this all ka we da obi de o ka 1 billion a enye no kure because I buying and they Unibank and as a banks waker say I buy the contractor car now sa contractor no the car I buy the car contractor no the entire buying to the can with him now and this for no ankasa no mo kokofa sa video ya ba omunim say she ya omudi ye ko sha se wo IMF no e ma kwan say sa 11 billion muti de bia ya see ya infrastructure ne de aka 11 billion can no muja ne infrastructure de bi omo ka se ne ya ye no omo ntuaka ana ska Canada ho a aban foforo betu but ye nhihye ya obodi ye call IMF call ye no ye ntumi emfiti ntua sa aka no sa ban pese otuaka o ntumi akanhihye ne makwan se obeye sa enti se no ene omo ka se aban de omo ka de a sa 1 billion no omo ka no se aban de omo no se ekukuru sa 1 billion ni nyina de hye Unibank inside na sa bank no at that time no nko mu ni se sika no de aka omo de so so no amanfo sika omo divert de akoye omo anka sa edwuma no omo nya mfa nso so e ma bank ne nko so enti na say bank no gu na say go because omo di sika na ewie enti wo di sika wa say why business wo di hu sika ewie na a collapse ya onni akuku drone ka say wa na wa collapse na video dey show bi foforo enti no kura wa asemo ni mu ne say video we meka kire mo say we nye de twato a mo behu na say ye behu wo social media political season ya ye wure mu yi on be bebiri but me boy nyina akoko say ye ni modi nkomo awie yi munim Dunkwa Institute dia ye butai sete anase ni so ade hunu etie se mokote na muhu sa video e bebi a enye no kreda se Dunkwa Institute ene mpanifo a aye adwuma hapan ana aban we esipo se banks e wo ho ye begu no omo kan sem we ade apa otan ama aban no because ensem aye kai nipa bebre edi yawo because ne omo a edi esika koto banks fo no ho a omo anka se di sika de akoto fi abrochire na ene omo sa omo sika no abaye aban ka asa aban tu aban etoto se betua no omo bre but de kofa baaye no enya aban oni e creative bank no edi sika no omo na fedi a omo ni nti no omo se twa ho akwakoye video sei edi gu aban ho fi Mpenifo aka em say ye papa Eric Nana nipa ono banks egui ye de ahye ne nsa no o de nsemi betu dwa na nse yi say ne one iyokofo ayedwuma omahu saa nyoma yi boni e course nyina omahu mu sem bebre enche bia Ghanafo obehu say nipa bebre yi ye de omo court amako yi omano de ntia banka omo bie ye say Ghanafo mfa yesika beto ye ho na omo so nya ho mfaso na omo apɛ koti kwan edi sesika yi na enne omo twa ho akɔ ade akɔhye aban ene Dunkwa Institute no omo de omo court ama ye nyina ye hu enti de America esre ne sɛ yanko so anya hwɛ yi na ye Ghana ye politics ayɛ no enya nkomodi a ɛfa ye daache ho enya nkomodi a ye toato adwene sɛ bɛyɛ a ye bɛkɔ enimu enye nkomodi a ɛyɛ esumase nyoma ani ntro a binu ma specialize wo mu yi nti mo amoye nsentrofo yi de biara da mo behu saa de we e wo bebi biom a na ya foforo on ba beye no afa ban ho ana se Dunkwa Institute ho no yesre mo ya mo mboa na mo set record ni straight because e beye yi a se nyina ye boa na mo de atitru odwuma ekọ ekire pa mo mboa na saa ntro ene politics a emfa so bia embre Ghana no na eno ato ntwa na Ghana yempe nkomo a beboa ama ye politics akọ nanimu da mo nyina sese ewie mobile na me nhyiram so asembisa bi eni ho de a ene mesa da mase biom on say nsemu na muda ho nti question bi eni on bo a
Good afternoon. The Nana Kusia Oman Effort. Obili Big about one thing, I can't say on the buso and I'm afraid. I don't know, Emma Council, who will turn on
so, no, somewhat penifo guso edi a home como. And you know, I'm a permono says Anamon, 2 Bebemoa, you bet to Sanamon. Okay, na madam nyina se na masa aka mo se mo nya hwe yi coronavirus real na ye nyina ye mbo ye ho ban ndamase